Viper.
Radiant team pick.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Canada Cup. I'm your host Niz and you're watching on NizCast. We've got two series in store for tonight. We've got Digital Chaos going up against Leviathan in a loser's bracket round one. I know we've already covered some of the round two stuff from the loser's bracket, but we've got to take a step back and finish off round one. So this is going to be a best of one between Digital Chaos and Leviathan. The winner will play in our following match, which is going to be, of course, loser's bracket round two, where they'll go up against Shazam, and that's going to be a best of three. So we've got at least three games in store for tonight, maybe four, if we're lucky. But we've seen some pretty big upsets. We saw, of course, Digital Chaos and Archon get very, very deep into the Shanghai Major qualifiers. Of course, Archon making it through, but Digital Chaos, they ended up finishing third. I don't want to say they were the loser of the group, but they ended up finishing third and not earning one of those spots, although many people thought it could have gone between any of the three teams, between Complexity, Archon, and Digital Chaos. Well, so far in the Dota 2 Canada Cup, we've seen Archon get eliminated in the first round. Digital Chaos now are up against the ropes as well. They could as well get eliminated in the first round. What an upset that would be. But they're going up against Leviathan, who honestly hasn't really had too great of a run recently in terms of when we last saw them, when we saw them in the Shanghai Major. They weren't really living up to expectations. But as of this past week, they've gone on a tear, and they are 11-4 on the past week. They beat Void Boys in a best of three. They beat Team Freedom, Elite Wolves, Boreal, and more. Like, it's just, they're doing some good stuff, and they're winning some games. And they've already picked up their Zeus, which is their #1 hero played in the past week, and they've been primarily playing it in the mid lane. They haven't really played too much Nature's Prophet, but
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, they've seen a lot of success with the Zeus, and they've seen a lot of success recently. So we'll look to see if they can carry it through this best of one series and go up against Shazam. Or maybe it'll be Digital Chaos, who we've seen them messing around with their roster quite a bit. We've seen stand-ins all over the place. We thought maybe TC was kicked and that was unofficial, but he's still on the roster and he's still in this game. So maybe we were just all wrong on that. But we're almost done the draft, so let's go through it real quickly. Oracle and Pudge, the Jenkins offlane Pudge, the Respect band coming out from Digital Chaos. Vengeful Spirit, another one of the big heroes that they've been playing recently. Winter Wyvern and Spectre banned out by Digital Chaos. As for Leviathan, Enchantress, Lone Druid, Death Prophet, Outworld Devourer, Gyrocopter, pretty much all those heroes we've seen have a huge impact on the game. They're all pretty much heroes that Digital Chaos love to play. So no surprise there on any of those bans, really. As for the picks, Witch Doctor, Faceless Void, Chen, Viper, and we're awaiting the last pick for Digital Chaos, which is going to be an Anti-Mage, which makes sense. Faceless Void off lane, Viper mid, Anti-Mage safe lane with Chen in the jungle, Witch Doctor babysitting. As for Leviathan, we've already got the offlaner in Nature's Prophet. We've got a support Earth Spirit and Ancient Apparition, and the Zeus mid. We expect this to be a carry to round out their lineup, and it's going to be one that's going to have to go up against Anti-Mage at some point in the game, so we'll see who they choose for that. They do have a lot of time left. They still have 45 seconds reserve time left. We'll see who they choose to pick here, and we'll get started with our first game of the night. I'm actually a little hyped for this new patch that came out. It was a big one. It took a while to download the other night, but yeah, they've fixed some things. And you know, I've always had some trouble with the net worth bind in the top left, and it would never actually stick. Even if I put in the console command or anything like that, the bind would never stick and it would just fall dead anytime I press the button, so I would always have to select it. Well, they fixed it. They finally fixed it, although it wasn't in the patch notes, but they fixed it. Lycan going to be the final pick here for Leviathan. That'll be exciting, as they're going for a little bit more of a push-oriented lineup. And they're going to try to put some pressure on the towers early on and not really go too late against the Anti-Mage. So look forward to see if Leviathan's going to be able to do that. But one of the other things that's kind of broken in the patch is the hero portraits. When you select a hero in the bottom, there's a hero portrait that's completely broken for me, whether I select it as animated or just the static, just where it's a picture, not actually an animated portrait. It's it's broken for me. So you'll have to excuse that being broken, as that's really not something I can fix on my end.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
hopefully they'll fix that in a soon-to-be-released patch.
5 seconds remaining.
Here we go. Everyone selected their heroes. As you can see, there's the broken portrait. But we've got to pause because that's what happens in competitive matches. But let's, you know, I normally wait, but let's start introducing the teams and the players now. So on the Radiant side, we've got Team Leviathan. Like I said, on a tear in the past week, and they've been looking real good, just which is a nice rebound considering before that week they were looking very, very bad. And you know what? I really like these guys, Leviathan. They've been together for a while, and they've shown real dedication and just trying to make it work, and trying to be professional, trying to be a solid team and organization that just keeps plugging away at it until they make it work. So I'm excited to see if they're able to rebound off some disappointing performances. But we've got Eagle the stand-in. He's going to be playing the Ancient Apparition. We've got Nusham on the Earth Spirit, Boris on the Lycan, Shibby's going to be playing the Zeus, and Jenkins is going to be on the Nature's Prophet. As for our Dire side, Digital Chaos, we've got Beryu playing the Witch Doctor. Bulba's going to be on the Faceless Void, TC on the Viper, Aoi 2000 is going to be on the Chen, and Yawar is going to be on the Anti-Mage. Already have one of those early TPs being used so that Beryu can go out and place this aggressive Observer Ward up onto the high ground. As immediately that got pinged out by Shibby. He pinged indicating mid, and then there was another ping up there by the Earth Spirit. So I'm not really sure. They're just assuming those are those pings. What is that sound? Help. Oh god. I might be lagging real bad right now, guys. 1 second.
30 seconds to battle.
What the hell is going on? Right now, my setting is set up as showing that I am lagging extremely badly. I have a ton of drop frames. What is going on?
The battle begins.
Well, guys, I'm gonna leave the camera on mid here, and I'm gonna be tabbed out trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know how badly this is lagging for you, but it is lagging incredibly badly for me, and it is showing that it's lagging bad. So I'll try and fix this. I'll get rid of the items as well. No, I'll have to be right back real quick. I don't know what this is, but I'll try and fix it.
Perfect location.
Alright guys, I think it's been fixed. I think so. It's not displaying that I'm lagging anymore. Or that the stream's lagging anymore. I have no idea how bad that was for you guys, but it looked pretty terrible for me. Whew, I just did some running around, so excuse me if I'm a little out of breath, but yeah, what the heck is happening in this game? Fortunately, we didn't miss first blood, but we got Bulba in trouble in the bottom lane. As Nusham and Eagle are going to be able to get a good amount of damage in on him. Not going to be able to get him killed, But we'll burn through a little bit of his regen. And he did start with a handful of tangos. This will drop down to 5, maybe even 4.
An article of faith.
Probably 4 if he's going to have to use another one there. But what is the state of our lanes? First of all, I got Nature's Prophet up in the top lane. He's going up against that Witch Doctor and Anti-Mage, as we predicted, with Chen in the jungle. Mid lane's going to be the Zeus going up against the Viper. And bottom lane's that offlane Faceless Void going up against the Ancient Apparition, the Earth Spirit, and the Lycan. Well, I'm lagging again, guys. What is going on? What the heck is going on? Let me close everything. What is going on? I have no idea. I just hope that this will clear up. It looks like it's rebounding again, so it looks like my internet is just being real choppy right now. Yeah, it's going down again. Oh. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to troubleshoot this on the fly here, and hopefully we don't miss first blood. You know what? I'll go to directed camera. Maybe that'll be a little bit better.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, you're probably going to see the quality go down quite a bit here on the stream, but hopefully that'll stop any stuttering. Fortunately, I have completely closed out of everything, so I can't even see chat right now. I pretty much just have a few things that I need open. Alright, I don't know. Hopefully it'll be okay, but yeah, I've got a... It's dropping a ridiculous number of frames, so... We'll try and keep an eye on it, see if it continues to drop, but we'll try and cover this game. It looks like we might have a potential try for a wraparound here from Ali and Biryu. As the Chen and the Witch Doctor going to wrap around behind the Tier 1 tower as Jenkins is in trouble. This is going to be our first blood. As somehow, with all of our problems, we still don't miss first blood, so no T-Tours spamming in the chat now. As first blood's going to go the way of Digital Chaos. That's a nice amount of gold going their way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As Biryu actually denies himself to the creep wave there. Get a little bit of a faster trip back to the fountain, so he doesn't have to burn through any of his regen. As for the mid lane, it looks like Viper's been dominating here as TC, who's sitting at 37 and 17, versus just Shibby here is sitting at 20-0. And this is, you know, we typically see a lot of mid lanes featuring Zeus end up in Zeus and the other hero just pretty much trading last hits and not really being able to shut down that Zeus. But this time the Viper able to push up past the lane and really force back that Zeus, as we see some pressure being applied in the bottom lane as Jenkins respawn, teleported down here, and they start pushing the bottom tier 1. This is forced Biryu to come down here as well, as there was some nice micro there from Jenkins pushing up past the tower, getting the aggro of the creep wave and delaying it so that they were able to continue pushing the tower, but the heroes from Digital Chaos smartly pulled the creep wave back past the tier 1 tower. So once again, Aoi preparing to go for this wraparound. Look at this. We've got an observer ward to scout this out in a sentry ward, but it's going to scout it out too late because he was smoked up to make the play. And now he's taking a lot of damage from the tower. He's going to lose his Dark Troll Summoner, but they're going to have more than enough as Yawar uses that Mana Void to burn off the remaining HP of the Nature's Prophet. Now Nusham rolls on in. Shibby gets the kill with the Thunder God's Wrath as Leviathan get on the board. As we get our 3rd kill of the game. Beery getting harassed by some wolves here as he's gotten a ward off, but he's losing a lot of HP. I don't think they're going to be able to follow it up with a kill though. As still not level 6 up on the Lycan. So not going to be able to shape-shift into that wolf and have that max move speed. An eye on our 2 offlaners. 11 and 3 for the Nature's Prophet. Whereas Faces Void, he's at 22 and 4, so Bulba getting a lot more out of this offlane than Jenkins is. And of course, we've seen Jenkins die twice as well. So far, Leviathan losing the offlane. And also losing the mid, because TC's been dominating here as we've already checked in on the Viper. And he continues to pull away from that Zeus. 52 and 18 right now compared to the Zeus at 34 and 0. Now we're going to have TC and Biryu smoke up as they continue to try and keep this Viper snowballing out of control. And they're going to go for Jenkins once again. The amount of pressure that DC is putting on this Nature's Prophets, they're going to stun him. And he is not going to be able to TP out. He's going to try, but this is that Observer Ward that Digital Chaos placed much earlier into the game. And they are continuing to keep this pressure on the Nature's Prophet, keep the Nature's Prophet down. And Jenkins is very, very struggling hard right here as Ping's going to come out that maybe there's an Observer Ward up here, but they've already got a Sentry Ward there, so I don't know. I'm a little unsure what that ping was, but it was indicating that, you know, they've got that, so they've got vision from that, but you still got killed, so I don't... I guess, I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's an Observer Ward here. Based on where that stun came in from. So we'll see if they're going to be able to counter-ward that. So we've got level 6 up now on the Lycan, and oh, he already used it. Alright. We just used it to move around and also get to that camp, the ancient camp, and get it down quickly. So once again, Jenkins has come back down to this bottom lane. As you can tell that even when Digital Chaos puts some pressure on Jenkins in the top lane and keeps down that Nature's Prophet, he's doing a good job of then jumping to the bottom lane and forcing Digital Chaos to make these rotations. Because now Aui's got to come down here, and they've got to send another hero down here to respect the push. But now, look at this. Bulba leaps on in, gets the Chronosphere off. Biryu TP's on in as well, as Jenkins once again is in trouble. This time he will get the teleport off, as he just barely gets out of there with just under 100 HP. But now it's Digital Chaos's move, as they're going to start pushing and keeping pressure on towers. As they've got the Chen down here, he's going to move into the jungle, probably take one more creep and continue pushing. As this tier 1 tower is probably going to be in trouble soon. But great play there coming up from Digital Chaos, as they've just been completely reading the plays coming out from Leviathan, as Jenkins comes down, gets a sprout off on Bulba, but didn't even force out a time walk. So Leviathan need to be careful. There's still these other heroes from Digital Chaos here, but an Ice Blast will fly, and it just hits Aoi. But it might be enough for Digital Chaos to think, you know, maybe we'll back away. Maybe we'll play it a little safer and not risk it too much here. Now I got Boris moving towards the mid lane. Shapeshift going to be up in 2 seconds. As Biryu is in trouble, we've even got a TP in from Jenkins, as he's going to get the sprout off, and the Witch Doctor's going to take a fall. Aui's also going to rotate in through the ancient side, so he's going to be in behind Jenkins and Boris, but he's going to back away as they've already claimed the tier 1 tower. Jenkins sprouting up there on the high ground. I think he was maybe thinking that Faces Void would be there. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe just did it for some vision, try to see if the Chen was there. Now Tornado's going to fly in. That'll start dealing some damage to Leviathan, but they don't really have much time. This tier 1 tower, or tier 2 tower, is going to start taking a lot of damage. Ice Blast going to fly in, but Bulba is just going to leap away and avoid the initiation coming in from Nusham. This is exactly what Leviathan want to do. They want to keep
Radiant's
pushing
bottom
towers.
tower
But
is
Digital
under
Chaos
attack.
is doing such a good job of holding and defending. And they're not devoting all their heroes to it, which is very, very important. They had TC farming in the bottom lane. We didn't look at it, but Yawar was up farming in the jungle as well. So they only had 3 heroes back defending, and they were able to hold on to their tier 2 tower. They did use Glyph, but it only lost about 500 HP. So they're doing a good job of defending without devoting a lot of heroes to it. And it's just about buying time. Buying time for their other cores, the Viper and the Anti-Mage, to really come online. And when Leviathan keeps grouping up like this to go for the push, that's time that they're not spent spread out acquiring XP, but mainly getting that gold that they need to pick up some of those core items. But basically what we're going to see is Digital Chaos try and hold the line as long as they can, and then all of a sudden they're going to be able to fight right back on Leviathan, and Leviathan just won't have the items to fight up against some of these big heroes. As Rock's going to get kicked into the bottom lane, it's going to cancel the TP from Bulba. He was trying to go and help out in the mid lane. Looks like the confrontation's ended there. But Ice Blast going to fly in and finish off the Faceless Void. We do lose the Earth Spirit as he takes out to the Viper Poison. As TC's going to try to run, but he's not going to be able to. You can't run from heaven. As the Thunder God's Wrath comes in from Zeus, as Shibby gets another kill on the board for Leviathan as they even it up at 4 kills apiece. The two pushers going up against each other in the mid lane here, as we've got the Chen and the Nature's Prophet squaring off. Don't really think the Nature's Prophet's going to be able to push up against the Chen. So we'll see Jenkins back away, where he'll meet up with Eagle, but now he's going to TP up to the top lane to go up with Boris, and this is more threat as Digital Chaos. They have to make up their mind immediately. What are they going to do now? If this is a push from Leviathan, are they going to defend their tier 1, or are they going to go and counter push either in the bottom tier 1 or the mid tier 1? They had Aoi kind of pushing the mid lane there, but they've got the 2 heroes down in the bottom lane, so it might just be a trade. We'll have to see. Either way, Jenkins and Boris and Nusham are almost at the tier 1 tower. They've also got help coming in from Shibby as well.
Under attack.
Eagle's quite a ways away, but he's got that Ice Blast, which he can throw across the map, so they don't really need him to be there. It looks like we are going to have a trade. Glyph's going to get used to delay them a bit, but Digital Chaos, they're not going to be able to bring down this tower if Leviathan choose to come back and defend. And it doesn't look like they will. It looks like they're going to keep pushing towards the tier 2. So we will see probably this tier 1 tower go down, although Ice Blast is going to fly in. Going to hit 2. Thunder God's Wrath's actually going to make sure that Buryu shatters from that. But that tier 1 tower goes down, and now we've got a mech pickup by Aoi, which might be enough for them to start fighting here. They might want to wait a little bit longer. Either way, I don't think they're going to take this tier 2 fight, but I might be wrong. We didn't have Buryu, yeah, they're going to lose their tier 2. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to punish anyone from Leviathan. We keep our eyes on Bulba, because we know that he's going to want to leap in with the Chronosphere, but the engage has happened on a TC. Unfortunately, he's caught in the Chronosphere, which means he's kind of a sitting duck there. He's going to be taking a lot of damage from this Magnetize. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. It doesn't look like it. He's going to go down, but the Earth Spirit's going to go down as well. Now, Leviathan start falling as they lose their Zeus. But I think that's going to be all they're going to lose. These 2, in fact 3 tornadoes coming out from Aoi, just doing so much damage there when they were grouped up on heroes. But Digital Chaos, they lose their tier 2, but they continue to hold. If that went really poorly for them and they lost more heroes, it could have been very, very bad. Because Leviathan could have done some damage to the tier 3 tower here, or maybe even swung to the mid lane. But with the state that the creep wave is in, they probably would have gone and dealt some damage on the tier 3. Which, although even if you're not getting the tier 3 tower down, when you've got a Nature's Prophet and a Lycan, or one or the other on your team, it's fantastic. Just to get a little bit of damage in on that. Even if you're just chipping it, because all of a sudden you can have a fight later on, happening in the bottom lane, happening in the mid lane, happening wherever, and all of a sudden that Nature's Prophet can TP up there to that top lane and start ratting, and start bringing down that tier 3 tower. And all of a sudden, if that's got a little bit of damage dealt to it, that tier 3 tower can drop a little bit sooner, which means that the racks are exposed, and then you can really start threatening the enemy. Leviathan going to go for a Roche here. Just to give an Aegis on their side. They'll probably give it to the Lycan. Oh, they could give it to the Zeus. It's also another option. Probably the Lycan though, because he'll be doing a lot of the ratting. And he's the one kind of more likely to get picked off. We'll see who they put it on. It looks like it's going to go pretty much uncontested with the exception of all the tornadoes flying in. As it is going to go to Shivy. Okay, they are going to give it to the Zeus.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ice Blast going to fly across the map and go up to the top lane. As we quickly cycle through our heroes and see where they all stand. As we already know, Yawar up at the top in net worth, just about to crest over that 10k gold mark. As he's got his Treads, his Battle Fury, and his Vlad. Nothing too surprising there. We've got TC with his Dragon Lance and Treads and Aquila. As Jenkins going to get initiated in on here by Bulbas, he's going to leap in and get the Chronosphere off. As once again we see that Nature's Prophet go down. And with that, Bulba's got enough gold for his Blink Dagger, so he's going to pick that up. So the question is, right now, we actually see Digital Chaos leading in terms of kills, 7 to 6. Of course, they've lost a lot of their towers, but we go back to this more pushing-oriented lineup from Leviathan, and have they done enough so far, or do they need to keep going? And I really think they need to keep going. They need to keep getting towers. They need to keep snowballing. Because right now, they've got this tower advantage, but you take a look at the net worth, and there's not really a bias towards Leviathan on there at all. In fact, it's the Animage that's getting out of control. So they need to really punish Digital Chaos in terms of major structures, basically racks, before Yawar is able to just stand up and just become this unstoppable force on that Animage. And Leviathan do still have a little bit of time before that, before the Animage can basically jump in and just solo everyone. The problem is that he's able to control the map so well that you pretty much only have one push, one attempt at pushing, before you have to back away because you lose your creep wave, because he jumps in from behind, he cuts off the creep wave. And then, well, you've got to send someone back to deal with it as all that. We saw the courier take 2 hits from the tower, and Nusham's going to be able to snipe it. So a little bit more gold going the way of Leviathan. Didn't have any items on it though, so it's not going to set anyone back for DC. Yeah, we'll try and cycle through our items quickly here, as we've got Midas and Treads and 1700 gold on the Nature's Prophet, Aether Lens, Yules, and Arcanes for the Zeus. Just an urn and a point booster for the Earth Spirit, as we've got an Ogre Club flying into him, and also an Ogre Club getting delivered to Eagle, who's got a point booster as well, so well on his way towards his Aghanim Scepter. As for the Lycan, we've got the Vlads, Treads, and rank 1 Necrobook, but he's got rank 2 Recipe in his stash. His Ice Blast going to fly, not actually going to hit anyone. As both Bulba and Buryu were able to run away there. There was a little bit of timing not really lining up there for Leviathan. As we saw the Earth Spirit roll on in just a little bit too late there. Not sure if maybe he was bound by range or whatever. But Yawar continues to do some ratting and split pushing of his own. And look at this. He just pushed the top lane, wiped out the tier 2 tower, but immediately he jumps to the mid lane. He's recognizing the fact that Leviathan are going to potentially go for a push in the mid lane. He goes, cuts the creep wave, and now Leviathan, they're left to defend, or they're left to try and push without really a creep wave. And look at this. The 3 Wild Wings. How many times have we seen this? Honestly, I don't think I have. But picking up 3 Wild Wings on a Chen to defend the high ground, and it's been so effective, these tornadoes. Just wiping out those Trents, wiping out the creep wave so quickly. And now Leviathan, once again, without a creep wave, how do you defend? Or how do you keep pushing? The thing is that you don't. You have to back away, and unfortunately that means sometimes you're going to lose some heroes like your Ancient Apparition. So, we saw how effective that Chen can be, and honestly the Void can be at then chasing down heroes once you back away after you've lost your creep wave from the Chen. Question is, how does Leviathan deal with it? What is the play? What is the counterplay to this Chen? Obviously the easy answer is just to ban it and don't let them get it. But how do you change it? How do you counter it in this game? And I think you just have to maybe get a pick off, but also just probably go for some split push. You got to push 2 lanes. But I don't know if you're going to be able to, because Yawar is just able to stay on this Radiant side of the map and has cut off the creep waves as they leave the base. Which means if you try and split push, if you try and stay spread out on the map and push different lanes and keep lanes pushed, you can't, because the Anti-Mage is wiping out those creep waves. And without a creep wave, your lane isn't going to push. And now Yawar, he's almost got his Manta completed. In fact, he does have enough gold for it. You've got about 800 gold to go before Aui's going to have his Agnum Scepter. TC still just with the Dragon Lance. Does he have something on the Courier? He's got a Yasha. That's it. His farm's kind of dropped off the face of the earth there, as he's well down in terms of the net worth. But certainly they don't need him to be big. He's big at the point in the game that they need him to be. And now it's up to Yawar to take over. Buryu's got his Tranquils and just kind of a casual bracer. He's doing some countering there. With Bulbo, we saw him pick up his Blink Dagger, but he's since added on a point booster. And some countering right back using the Zeus to wipe out that Observer Warden Sentry. Leviathan, look at this. They're pushing the tier 2, and although we've seen Digital Chaos do such a good job of defending, they're choosing not to defend this tier 2. They want to defend the high ground. They don't want to risk anything trying to defend a tier 2. And once again, Yawar was pushing in the mid lane. That's forced Jenkins to come back and deal with it. But Yawar wasn't able to move back towards the bottom, as he wants to go down towards the bottom, wipe out that creep wave, also keep maybe putting some pressure on the tier 2, although he wouldn't have, he'd be doing up against backdoor protection, but it's to prevent this kind of uphill push that's going to happen in the bottom lane. But we've since seen Leviathan back away. And now look at this play from Digital Chaos. They've smoked up with their other heroes. They've just sent the Wild Wings back to defend. And they've gone for a smoke play, trying to catch someone out. But look at this. Leviathan, they know what's up. They're all sticking together. They have used Ice Blast on Roche Pit, just because they know that that was a potential for Digital Chaos to go for it. Because they definitely recognize the fact that there was a smoke, that there was a rotation outside of the Digital Chaos base. I'm not sure if maybe it was spotted by this Observer Ward. But they throw an Ice Blast, they check Roche. They realize Roche isn't up. And Digital Chaos aren't doing Roche. In fact, Roche actually can't be up right now. Take a quick look at our gold graph, and we can see it's been Digital Chaos pretty much all game, despite the fact that Leviathan were knocking down those towers. And I always talk about snowball gold, and honestly this is a little bit misleading when you take a look at this graph. And I'll quickly switch over to our XP, and yeah, that one's heavily in favor of Digital Chaos, but this one's a little bit misleading, because if you're snowballing off tower gold, you expect it to be going up in favor of Leviathan. They're getting gold for bringing down towers. Digital Chaos aren't getting gold for bringing down towers. So it stands to reason that, assuming both teams are getting equal amount of creeps, that Leviathan would be ahead in terms of net worth. But it's not, it doesn't really work that way, or it's not really represented that way, because the Anti-Mage has the potential to just counter push. And oh, Yawar might get picked off here. This is going to be huge for Leviathan, as the Anti-Mage is in trouble. There's no way he's going to get out of this. He will pop his Manta and blink, but they will just need one more attack and they'll find it. And actually no buyback available for Yawar, as Bulba's going to leap in, get a Chronosphere off. It's just going to trap the Lycan, but it's also unfortunately going to trap TC once again. But they will find the kill on the Lycan.
Humbled by death.
The Digital Chaos do find a return kill, and that will prevent any kind of further push from Leviathan. But that Anti-Mage, he's able to jump behind the creep wave and jump behind enemy lines basically, and wipe out those creep waves early on. So he's able to really rat effectively, which a lot of heroes aren't able to do, or aren't able to do as effectively as the Anti-Mage. So it's kind of interesting that you go for a push-oriented lineup against an Anti-Mage because of just how strong he gets later on in the game. But the same thing, at the same time, the Anti-Mage is actually quite effective at going up against and kind of preventing those strategies, and gets more out of it than more traditional or than other hard carries can, because he's able to kind of wipe out creep waves here like we've seen him do several times, and then he just blinks away to safety. And that allows him to get more gold than other carries up against the snowball-oriented lineup. So instead of seeing the gold graph above 0 and sitting on Leviathan's side of the board, we actually see it trending more towards digital chaos, because Leviathan are snowballing, they are getting their gold through towers, but at the same time Yawar is just left untouched and he's just farming like crazy. And we've seen, how many times have we seen? It's been time and time again that we've seen an Animage just with ridiculous farm. He's sitting at 358 as he wipes out that creep wave. 358 CS right now, compared to 150 on the Lycan. Now that isn't really a fair comparison, because obviously the Animage is farming and the Lycan's doing a little bit of farming but mainly trying to push. But 300 and almost 70 now CS on Yawar. Of course he's going to be way ahead in net worth, because he hasn't been touched. He's just been farming like crazy, and that's exactly what Anti-Mage does the best. And we're going to see, as this game gets a little bit later, that he's going to become this kind of unstoppable force that Leviathan just aren't going to be able to deal with. And now we're going to have Digital Chaos go for a Roche here. And Shibi's going to actually spot them out.
Dire's middle barracks has
This is going to be an interesting play as Newsham rolls forward, but doesn't find a target. Jenkins going to TP in Sprout. Unfortunately not going to catch Buryu there. But here comes Bulbas. He's going to leap in, get a Chronosphere off, as they're going to try to focus down Shibi, but unfortunately caught Yawar in it.